San Francisco is a destination city. No matter where you're at in the world, you need to experience it.
We're on a peninsula surrounded by water. So, you go up high to, like, say, Twin Peaks, and you can see the bay, and you can see Golden Gate Bridge.
I drive over it every day. I've probably driven over it 6,000 times. And it actually never gets old.
San Francisco, it is the home now of a number of high-tech firms such as Uber.
I'm an Uber driver, and I drive people around San Francisco. People come from all over the world to visit and to work because it's the place to be.
You could find any community, and it's all blended together in its own little pocket of the world.
San Francisco is a place of hope. It's all founded on the idea that you can start anew, you can have a new life, and that's what the city is all about.
The Church of Scientology of San Francisco is located in the heart of downtown San Francisco. It's on the corner of a crossroads of 3 different districts. You have North Beach, the Italian section, you have Chinatown, you have the financial district.
Directly across, you have one of the tallest buildings in San Francisco, which is the Transamerica Pyramid.
Our building is quite unique. It's like triangular. So, usually say within these 4 walls. Well, we have to say within these 3 walls, this is where it all happens right here, right now.
We see every person you can imagine come to the church. So you have the businessmen, you have the high-tech firms, and then you have tourists from every nationality.
One of the tenets of Scientology is that, we're here to help. And that's what we do. We consider ourselves successful when we are helping people. And it makes you smile to see someone that has had something that is a cloud over their head or something more serious, and then they see that there is a way that they can handle it and be cause over the situation.
Scientology helps people be who they really are. That is probably the most valuable thing we could give to the city of San Francisco, is letting people be who they really are.
San Francisco is known as, the 49ers. We have a football team named after 49ers. Well, that was 1849, and that's when gold was discovered.
To really understand how San Francisco came to be the city that it is, we have to go back to the gold rush. The gold rush of California started when James W. Marshall discovered gold.
In San Francisco, it created a huge rush of people coming into the city to succeed and start a new life.
About half a block that way is original San Francisco coastline. During the gold rush, so many people came in with their boats and just abandoned them that the city actually had to build on top of it. So all of this is built on top of old abandoned ships. Before this gold rush, San Francisco was a little tiny town, and in 1 year it went from being this tiny little town to one of the fastest growing cities in all of the United States. Major companies were started. You have Levi Strauss, you had Ghirardelli chocolate, you had people like Jack London, you had Mark Twain here.
Mark Twain had the very famous line, he said the coldest winter that he ever spent was his summer in San Francisco.
Specifically, there's a lot of people who came from China. That's why San Francisco has the oldest Chinatown in all of America.
We're standing in front of the Dragon's Gate, which is the main entrance into Chinatown. And there's over 34,000 people that live here, Chinese descent. Bruce Lee, the famous martial arts movie star, was born here in Chinatown.
So we have expansion for a number of decades, and then all of a sudden, 1906, earthquake.
It was actually one of the worst earthquakes in the history of the United States.
There was only one working fire hydrant in the entire city.
However, despite the entire city being burnt down, because of the spirit of San Francisco, they had already started plans to rebuild.
San Franciscans are an interesting type of person because no matter how hard we get hit, we rise up again.
Within 15 years, the city literally rose from the ashes. Our building was definitely part of that rebirth of the city. The original building burned down in the fires and earthquakes. It was rebuilt in 1909 in the same style as the original building, and it became the popular Italian bank, which would give out loans to the migrants who came from Italy and help them rebuild in this area. In 1928, a businessman named Amadeo Giannini purchased the building, and it became his new Bank of America.
It's like a landmark of San Francisco. Also, this was the original place of the Transamerica Corporation.
If you look at it from the outside, it still says Transamerica right across the top. It is a nationally registered landmark.
In certain areas of San Francisco, a whole nother level of historical restoration has to occur. This whole Jackson Square district that we're a part of is one of those districts.
And the church meticulously restored everything, including the chandeliers, the curtains, and all of the detail that you can see up on the walls.
You can go down into the basement, you can see the original vaults. When you walk into the building, you feel a real sense of history.
But even more historical to Scientology is our founder, L. Ron Hubbard, was here. And one time in particular, shortly after he wrote the book Dianetics, he toured the country lecturing, and finally he came to Oakland, where he recorded a series of lectures. And they're actually the first lecture series where you can hear L. Ron Hubbard talking about Dianetics. That's very important to us. Because with this church, there's a legacy we are preserving. Both the history of Scientology and the history of this great city of San Francisco for centuries to come.
It's just really an amazing feeling to know that we are part of this rich history of San Francisco. So it is so important that we work here in helping people rise again and again and create a new day every single day. That way, those people that we help can go out and really accomplish those big, major goals and those big, major shifts in society.